some of the catch-and-shoot stuff, personnel recognition. Sam Hauser gets 7 of them in the third quarter. A couple are in transition, but we've got to do a better job of maintaining our discipline. We had a couple coming out of timeouts where we've just talked about the importance of staying on his body, and he shakes loose. Sam's an incredible player, shooter. They did a good job as a team of finding him. And then late, we fight, we get back in the game, and 3 minutes left. We call timeout in between 2 free throws. It's a 1-point game. They missed the free throw, and our attention to detail on the free throw rebounding was just not good enough. They make a 3. Now it's a 4-point game. A minute and a half later, we have a turnover, trying to get the ball to Walker. They come down, Hauser hits a transition 3, and like those 2 plays, it's a 6-point swing that is hard to recover from, as the game is winding down. So those are really good learning moments for our group as we continue to try to understand and grow into a winning team. But I'm really proud of the team's effort. I feel good about how the team played tonight. They should walk out with their heads held high.
We've seen it in a few other games when Walker did switch on to other players, but on Jaylen Brown tonight.
I think that Walker's improvement has mainly been absorbing the bump when people try to get to his body and then stay down on shot fakes. Most guys, when they attack Walker, once they get within about 12 feet of the basket, they're looking to bump him and get him leaning and then shot fake to get him off the floor. He's done a good job of staying down on those initial fakes. He can do a better job at continuing to fight the urge to open his feet up too much. I think there's probably a couple of those ISOs throughout the game where his stance is just way too open. And the problem is that it just makes those drives so direct that it creates an urgency from his teammates to think they have to help, and we give up a few catch and shoots. But I would say in general, it's been a big area of growth this season is Walker's isolation defense. We hadn't really switched with him very much until this year, and we're trying to help him expand his overall defensive arsenal, and I would say for the most part it's gotten a lot better.
And then I know you spoke about how that three-point shot wasn't falling, but to have the team still push back, being down 24 and still shooting threes, especially getting hot in the fourth quarter, what do you like to see about that when your team can trust themselves to just keep trying?
Yeah, I think especially on offense, the result can mess with your brain. And, I'll use John as an example. He's 2 for 11 from 3. I think he took 11 good threes, and John shot the ball well this season. So you have to fight the urge to miss 2, and now we got to go to something else. I thought the team understood that we had generated some pretty good looks that hadn't gone in, and we were trying to continue to generate those same types of looks. So that's a moment of growth for the team, because I think there's times where you go away from it, not with bad intentions. Usually it's guys wanting to make a play and trying to save us and all those things. But it can disrupt the rhythm of your offense when we don't trust the types of shots that we've developed, whether or not they go in.
You spoke about team rebounding in the pregame, and it was 57-53. What did you see from the team in being able to get those boards?
Who had my box score says 48-47. Who had 57?
I have NBA.com 57-53.
Well, I would never go against NBA.com. Did they have 57 or us?
You did.
Oh. Rebounding has been an emphasis all season. Sorry, I didn't know where to go from there. Rebounding's been an emphasis all season. John helped us a lot tonight, coming back and playing with Walker. But I like looking down the box score and seeing Johnny has 4, Svi has 4, Bryce has 4, Cody has 4, KJ has 3. Like, that's how the box score should look every night for us. It can't just be about one person. And especially with how much crashing there is in the league now, the perimeter players have a much bigger responsibility. We talked a couple nights ago after Toronto about the secondary effort plays when the first piece of the rebound gets tipped, that we need perimeter players to dig out those 50-50 balls. And you give yourself a chance to win when you do that. You know, we've had plenty of conversations post-game about the math just being against you in certain moments, and turnovers is a big one for us, but rebounding has been an emphasis from the first day of training camp.
And then how did you see the team go through those Ricky shooting or missing shots to keep push through and keep going along the game?
Yeah, I think the guys have been really resilient all year, and tonight's game was another example of that, where they don't quit, they stick together. The camaraderie amongst the group is really at a high level right now. They're encouraging each other. They're trying to pick up guys who maybe aren't shooting well, trying to instill some belief in them. So that's what a high-functioning team does, is that you understand what the goal is, you understand your own process, and you have, you know, the ultimate belief in it as a group. And we talk a lot about when things are going well for you, you need to look and try to find somebody else to pull with you. And when things aren't going well for you, you have to look to the group to try to be pulled in so that you can join the momentum of what's going on. Like, it's something that has to be talked about a lot, and we have to continue to focus on that. But I thought tonight's game and the way they battled through some of the missed shooting was just an example of the team doing that.
You mentioned the bind that Jason, Jalen put you in defensively. How much does the game plan going against Jalen change when Jason isn't out there, and how do you feel like you guys overall executed that?
Yeah, things do change when one of those guys is out. Tonight it happened to be Jason, but I do think that in general some of the core principles remain the same, because Jason and Jalen are both unselfish players, and they have a lot of really good players on their team. Like, there's certain teams in the NBA, when you prepare for them, you're thinking about their star player, like this is the focus, and then everything else is secondary. When you play the Celtics, it's about the holistic thing that they do, and they generate a bunch of really good catch-and-shoot threes. They put pressure on the rim out of some perimeter isolation. They're very good at attacking the switch. And so it's more conceptual when you play them, because they prove all the time. Tonight's another example of it doesn't matter if Jason and Jalen play or if it's just one of them. A couple of games ago, Derek White and Peyton Pritchard each have over 40. Tonight I thought there were moments where Derek White's isolations put us in some rotations. I mean, it's way more conceptual thinking when you play the Celtics, and that's a testament to their team. That Jason and Jalen, they don't make it about them. And so I thought thematically it stayed pretty consistent. And I thought overall we did a pretty good job, with the exception of the third quarter. Like, that's the part of the game that it got away from us.
Yeah, and I want to throw in the Sam element. You said you want to stay attached to him. We talked about that sometime. How difficult is that when you are trying to key in on Jalen to some degree? Like, does that kind of pull guys off Sam a little bit? Like, what happened there?
Absolutely. I mean, the person guarding the ball has to do a good job, because the human instinct is, if I see Jaylen Brown driving the ball free, I go to help. And so I thought there were moments where Sam benefited from Jalen having a good initial attack, but I also think there were some moments where off the ball we just didn't do a good enough job being physical with Sam. Sam's developed a ton over the course of his career, and he's not just a catch and shoot player the way that maybe that signals in your brain. He doesn't stand still. He moves. He cuts. One of the threes he got opposite their bench was like a fake back cut back out to the corner. He's done a really good job of learning different ways to manufacture those catch and shoots, and he deserves the credit for that.
Thank you.